All right, I'm back with you with another review. I just did one a minute ago, but I figured I'd do two today. This one is on the Momarsh vinyl stand and the Invisilab. Both made by, obviously, by Momarsh. Higdon owns them now, I guess. And really, the only difference in these two is this one just has blind on top of it. The base of these is basically the same. This one is a little narrower than this one. I assume that's just because they had to put a blind on this, they wanted to make sure it held up and was wide enough for that. But I've had this one for a few years. This is pretty new for this year. I've got this one this year, and we just use it for training and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from top to bottom. I'll start with this one, give you the pros and the cons and what I think about it, and how I feel about the price point and stuff like that with them. My dog's over here wrestling around, carrying on. So, and also I'll put my dogs in here. I've got a 75-pound dog, a 68 or 70-pound one, and a 55-pound one, and he's 95 pounds, but he's not a hunter. He's not a hunter. He was kind of a rescue deal from my cousin. He jumped a fence and got hit by a car, and they needed a place for him to go, so we brought him over here to the farm, and he just runs the place around the farm. But the girls are my hunters, so start out on this thing. The blind material on it is substantial. It's about what you would expect to get from any one of these types of blinds. I don't know what the denier is on it or whatever, but it's going to hold up. This is the Optifade Gore. I think they make a Max 5 that you can get. I'm not for sure about that. I know they do on their Invisiman, but it's got vents in the side here that allow for air to come through. I guess if you're hunting when it's warmer, that helps out some there to keep ventilation going. It's got stubble straps all over, all the way across the top, all the way across the sides. It's actually built into this blind down here. I mean, there's some Velcro here, but it's not something that's going to fall off the top of here or something of that nature. You can open up both ends, both sides open this way. So if you had a dog, like say you trained your dog to come in from behind, jump up in here and sit down, you can do that. My girls are kind of bad, and it's my fault because I'm the one that trained them, so any deficiencies they have is on me. But if they go in the front of this thing and I've got the back of this thing open, they're going to go right out the back. So I zip the back on it, and not an issue whatsoever. So you can do that. You can have it set up to where you have it all the way open like this. You can roll this up. If you want to roll this, it's got some things here to hang it so it'll stay up like that. You can zip one side. Of course, there's Velcro here on the bottom to hold it shut if you want. But you can zip one side of it, and the dog can just come in and out the one hole. If you're using it like a kennel or something, maybe you're sitting somewhere, you want to put your dog up while you're doing different things, you can put your dog in here and you can zip both sides, and obviously they'll be fine inside there. I prefer having this whole thing opened up and rolled up, but you can do it about any way you want. Once you get all your crap on here stubbled in, you're not going to see them anyway. The legs on it, like I said, this one's wider than this one. I assume because they did put this blind on top, they thought that would be beneficial. The feet are the same. They got these duck feet. You can see those duck feet on the bottom that dig into the mud. They do a pretty good job doing that. That's what this one over here did. I've had it for a few years. The platform on top, it's a netting. It's like a mesh netting, and it does a pretty good job. I don't have any rips or tears in it. This one's been going about 3 years. They got a little pouch here. You put your pins in. If you're on some hard ground that's not too hard, there's holes in the top of those duck feet. You can put those pins in. It's not really built to be on dry land, so it can get a little, this one where it's narrow can get a little bit tipsy on you. It can fall over, but it allows, this material allows the water to drip off your dog and fall on the ground instead of being on top with him. I had a friend that had a banded one, and again, I'm not a fan of banded stuff, but he had a banded one. It's like a table or something. I didn't really care for that. It was hard on top. It's a lot more comfortable. They'll go sleep in this thing if you let them. If you want to take the legs out to lock them in place, there's a cable here. Now the reason my cable, you can see this, typically it would hang down here. The reason it's not hanging down here because if you hang that down, there's a chance your dog's foot can get caught in it, either jumping off or jumping back on. And the only reason I knew that is because she jumped back up on it one time and her leg got caught and she yelped when she got on. So what in the world? And I saw what happened. Well, all I did was take it and put it under these straps to where it doesn't dangle down. That fixed that problem. I looked online, and sure enough, that had been a problem other people had. One guy's dog got kind of injured in it and said about he like to drown in it. I guess it was jumping off. When I talked to him at Momarsh, I guess Higdon, like I said, Higdon owns Momarsh now. I'm in Kentucky, so I called them in Western Kentucky, and they know about that, and they know that that's an issue, but they don't put any literature out, or they don't put anything out to let you know that you might want to try to do that. Hey, so anyway, that's just something to remember. When you buy that, make sure you put that up under. Now, all that so far has been really good, and there's not really another product like this on the market, I don't think. But here's the issue. These legs, once you get past this frame right here, and this frame's not bad, but once you get past this frame, these legs right here are made out of almost that, like a camera tripod would be made out of. Just cheap aluminum. I would show you and pull this out for you, but they won't come out anymore because they're bent. And the reason they're bent is because I was in water that was relatively high, and I had that thing up about as high as it would go, and she's, like I said, 75 pounds, and her getting in and out all day. And this is what happened. I never sat on her or anything. I had my own stool, so it wasn't like it was me getting on it. She's getting in and out, bent these legs. And I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not, but right here where this goes in, right here, it's bent. And what happens is, as long as this is far enough up here to where it's more stable, and they won't do that. But when you extend this thing out, when you get down as about as high as this thing's supposed to go, it gets really weak right here, and it will bend this aluminum. These legs will never go back in. I've tried everything in the world to get those legs back in, and they are not going back in. So that's a cheap material. I called and talked to them about it to figure out if anybody else had that problem. Apparently I'm the only guy in the United States that's had that problem, so according to what they told me. But you can push on that right there and tell that any amount of weight could really do that. But they said they never had that happen before. Whatever. If you want to buy the leg kit, you can buy them for $8 a leg. So it's like 32 bucks, and it's like $20 to ship them. So $52. So instead of paying $52 for new legs for this, I actually bought this one. And have to keep in mind that you stay in water that's not that deep. It's not deep enough to push this thing close to its max. Now you can get out on this a cheaper way if you have a some other kind of blind. I'm sure it would work with any blind, but I had a hardcore hardcore dog cave. I put it on top of here and zip tied it. Took that Velcro loose and zip tied it on here through these things, and that's what I used, I don't know, a couple years, and it works just as good as this. The only problem is it's not attached, it's a little bit more cumbersome, but it worked. So if you had a tangle free or had something like that, that would fit on this platform right here, you could do that too, and you could save yourself a lot of money. But these things are like 129 bucks, and this thing's 200. So I mean, really, you're getting a lot better money for your value out of that. So what I'll do is, I think that's everything I can think of with it. It's like I said, it works pretty well. It's just those cheap legs, I'm not a big fan of that. But here, Jess. Here, Jess. Now I'll show you what she looks like in it. She's 75 pounds. And she will, I hope you can see that there. She fits in it. I mean, absolutely no issue whatsoever. She's not, I mean, she's got more than enough room. I'm sure this big dude, if he was a hunter, he could fit in it too. More than enough room for her to get in there. No issue at all. And she don't mind to be in it. It's comfortable. Check out, Joseph. So you can zip one side. She can still see out. Not an issue. I mean, she's got plenty of room to back up if she wants to too. More than enough room on this for her to maneuver in there. Come on, Joseph. Nix. Now, Nix weighs, like I said, she's around 6. Come on, Kylo. Come here, Kylo. He's 95 pounds. If I thought he could get in there and do it, I'd let him do it, but he hasn't ever had any training on hunting, so. You can see with her, come here, Kylo. Get over here. Come on, come on. I got dogs jumping all over the place. I got more dogs than I know what to do with. I can just tell you. Nix. So, at 68 pounds, like I said, piece of cake, no problem. Come on, Nix. Yep. Come on. Come on. Remy. Anyway, I bet I could fit both these dogs in here. I got that much space. Remy. Remy. Up. Yeah. See, there's enough room in there. There you go. I didn't plan on showing you like that today. there's enough room in there to house two, what's that, like 55 and 70, 125 pounds worth of lab in there. And then she's, of course, now she's showing you what it looks like on this. She's got room on this, and this is a narrower stand, so they work pretty well. The only issue I would have with them would be those silver legs. The ones that come out, because once they bend, they're not going back in. So that's about it for that. Drop a comment down below if you have any questions. Like or subscribe. I'm going to try to put out a bunch more of these, and I'm going to do some hunting videos this year with these girls. The chocolate one and the black one, I'm taking them both to Kansas with me, and I'm going to alternate them days out there so they can both get some hunting. This one here had a broken elbow when she was little, and she wrestled through it a few years, but last year it's really starting to get her down right here. And so she doesn't get as many trips as she used to. She went out last year, but I think this year she's going to be relegated to hunting around home a day at a time. So again, if you like what you see, hit like. If not, that's fine too. But I'd appreciate any support, because I'm going to start doing more of these videos. And it's just working people videos, guys that get out here. I'm not in it for anything other than to show people stuff, so that when you look on YouTube, you can get an idea of what you're trying to buy, because that's how I pick 90% of the stuff I buy is what I see off YouTube. So I appreciate you, and have a good season.